And welcome to another great movie review. Today we are going to be discussing Arrow Season 3. So, we're finally catching up more with Arrow. Season 5, of course, is out, as you already know. But I wanted to go ahead and catch those of you who weren't up to Season 5 already. Or you can just go on Netflix and watch it there, or CW. Anyway, I love Arrow, as most of you may already know, and I love The Flash as well. I love all the CW shows, as a matter of fact. I will say that I am expecting a whole lot more with these shows, considering the fact that DC's Legends of Tomorrow is, just starting out, but it's already done so well for itself. Considering Supergirl came to the CW, considering Flash is already in its 3rd season and is still doing good, Arrow's in its 5th season, still doing good, I expect a whole lot more to come out of this. I expect a whole lot more from these shows in the sense of I think that they're going to do really good, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do next. That being said, let's go ahead and get started with the review. So, Arrow Season 3 is personally my favorite season. I love the main antagonist, who is Ra's al Ghul. For those of you who do not know, Ra's al Ghul is the head of the League of Assassins and one of Batman's enemies. Now, that being said, I will say that there are a few things here and there that, like a few Batman villains here and there that Arrow has borrowed from Batman to give to Arrow, to the Green Arrow. Excuse me. And I don't mind that, because after all, it is still the DC universe, so, one villain isn't going to be restricted to just one hero, such as, the Joker. The Joker is literally Batman's greatest villain of all time, and yet he has been seen multiple times, fighting other heroes such as Superman, Wonder Woman, and so, again, one villain is not restricted to one hero. The Flash's greatest enemy is Reverse Flash, but Reverse Flash is not restricted to just the Flash, So again, seeing all these different villains is actually really good. It's really good seeing all these different villains take on these different heroes. That being said, again, I personally love Season 3, and I love the fact that Ra's al Ghul is the main antagonist, and I will say that they do a great job of introducing the antagonist for Season 4 in Season 3. That's a discussion for the next video. Again, I love Season 3. Season 3 is personally my favorite season of Arrow. It picks up from Season 2 very well, in the sense of, in Season 2, Oliver defeated Slade Wilson and locked him up on Lian Yu. And in Season 3, we see that Oliver and Thea go back to Lian Yu to do training, and we see that Slade Wilson has escaped. Now then, that being said, Thea leaves at the end of Season 2, and she goes with Malcolm Merlyn to train, because she wants him to teach her how to be stronger, how to not feel fear, yada yada. And he does. Basically puts her through the same training he did when he was in the League of Assassins. Anyway, so Thea basically becomes Oliver's new sidekick, Speedy, because by this point in time, Roy has already left. So, again, that being said, it's really cool seeing Thea and Oliver work together. Ooh, excuse me. Very tired today. Now, throughout season 3, we see, what the League of Assassins is really up to, and we see Oliver try to beat. We see Oliver fight Ra's al Ghul and try to beat him, and unfortunately lose. Oliver gets stabbed. Spoiler alert: Oliver gets stabbed through the chest, and presumably dies after being kicked off the mountain, off the cliff by Ra's. But Oliver comes back to life and goes back to Starling City, or Star City, and so we see everything has kind of fallen apart in Starling City, so Oliver goes to fix it. During this season, we also see the introduction of Ray Palmer, aka the Atom. Very smart man, played by Christopher Reeves, I believe. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name, but he played Superman in Superman Returns, alongside Kevin Spacey. Anyway, so season 3 had good antagonists. We see Oliver actually become Ra's al Ghul at the very end of near the end of season 3, after defeating Ra's, because Ra's has seen that Oliver has what it takes to become Ra's and wants him to become Ra's. So we see Oliver join the League of Assassins to save his sister, because his sister was stabbed by Ra's. Now, we also see the Lazarus Pit, which is really, really cool. I enjoy the Lazarus Pit. I love the idea of it. It's really cool, and I like what they did in the show for it. Basically, in some comics, and even in some comics and in some of the DC animated movies, such as Son of Batman, the Lazarus Pit is in like an underground cave that Ra's walks into. Which again is cool. I have no problem with that idea at all. But I like what they did with the Lazarus Pit in the show, in the sense of they keep it in the palace, and he still has to walk into it, obviously, of course, but it's more like it's a contained pool of sorts in the palace, which, in my opinion, would make more sense. Would make more sense considering the fact that he would want to keep it near at all times. But again, not saying the comics nor the animated movies got it wrong. Again, I love the Lazarus Pit. I love this idea that they got with it. Anyway, all in all, season 3, in my opinion, is really, really good. Now, I will say it was a tad bit slow, but it was manageable. Now, again, season 3 led up to season 4 very, very well. They tied everything up, introducing, not really introducing, but giving a hint at Damien Dark in season 3. For those of you who do not know, Damien Dark is the head of Hive. Basically, it's like the League of Assassins, but more modernized. While the League of Assassins uses bows and arrows, spears, swords, and such, the Hive uses is body armor, whereas body armor looks more modern, militarized, guns, the whole 9 yards. Now, again, they did a very good job of, dropping that hint of Damien Dark. And I like that, I really did. I like the hint that they give. Now then, basically, we find out that what Raish plans to do with Oliver in order to progress him to Raish is he has to kill Starling City with a virus, wipe out his entire hometown, basically starting anew, in a sense. And so that makes sense to me, considering the fact that makes sense to me considering the fact it's like you are starting a new life, your old life is no more. Again, it makes sense. Now then, Oliver goes on with this whole charade. The rest of the team believes that he hasn't really been brainwashed, but that there's no saving him. The only one who really knows the truth is Malcolm Merlyn. Now, when it's all said and done, Malcolm Merlyn, Oliver passes the ring of Raish to Malcolm Merlyn, giving him the title of Raish and everything. And which I thought, made sense. If Malcolm Merlyn wanted anything, it would be to be Raish, to erase all his debt, all his blood debt, everything like that. Now, again, this whole season was just a complete roller coaster, but I love what they did with it. With Oliver joining the League of Assassins and the rest of the team thinking, he's changed, he's a bad guy, they basically brainwashed him. I love what they did with it because Oliver, no matter how much he wanted to tell them, he couldn't because he didn't want to put them in danger. The plan had to be known to only a few people. And so basically Oliver, it's not that Oliver didn't trust his team, Oliver, whatever trust that he had, or that his team had in him, he lost. And so with that being said, it's a whole different, it's a whole different ball game. But at the very end of season 3, Oliver decides to leave Starling City with Felicity, and because he says, you know what, the city's in good hands. I understand you've lost your trust in me, but I'm no longer going to be here, so the city's in your hands. And so they leave. And so I thought that was an interesting way to stop season 3 with Oliver's happy. Oliver's happy, but something's gonna happen. So again, season 3, all in all, was just an emotional roller coaster. And so, season 3 I will say, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, to all of this, but I will say that, again, it's an emotional roller coaster, and it will mess you up. But season 3 does introduce some other good villains as well, like Brick. Introduces Brick very well. Again, we see Slade Wilson come back, and I really hope that we see Slade Wilson come back yet again. I really want to see that. But other than that, again, season 3 has to be my favorite season because Ra's al Ghul is one of my favorite villains in the DC universe, if not, my absolute favorite. If I had to rate season 3 of Arrow, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Acting was good. Character development was really, really good in this season. And again, I believe the character development was really, really good in this season because, again, Oliver lost his trust. Oliver lost the trust from his team. They don't trust him at the end of this season. And so that's going to affect season 4 going in there. And not only that, is Thea evolved from this, kind of not scared little girl, but this, this talk the talk but can't really walk the walk girl to talk the talk and I'll walk the walk. To talk, she really changed from season 2 and between season 2 and season 3, considering the fact that she was training. But again, that's still character development, and it's actually really, really good. Thea's become stronger. She's become more fearless in this season. She's due to her training, and it works out really well for her. And Malcolm Merlin, of course, I would say he gets some character development too, but not really. In my opinion, he's still a jerk. Diggle, he goes through some character development as well. Him and Oliver build each other up, basically. And Laurel, I know not many people like her, but Laurel goes through some character development as well. Being the Black Canary and such, having to take up the mantle for her sister, And again, all the characters went through certain, especially Captain Lance. Captain Lance and Laurel Lance. I will say that those two really have really went through character development really, really well. Nessa, in just one season, she went through some extreme character development in the sense of she was introduced in season 3, of course, Nessa Al Ghul, daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and at the beginning she was this, she was this seeing the world in black and white, yada yada, but at the end of season 3 and going into season 4, she really, really, at the end of season 3 going into season 4, she changes a lot due to Laurel. Laurel really helped her out. Helped her out with everything. And so again, all these people go through such character development, and in as little as one season, and it's amazing. Even if it doesn't seem like much, you can tell it's there. Effects as always were amazing. Antagonists as always were amazing, very well written. Dialogue and plot was very, very good. I enjoyed the plot for this season. I will say that I enjoyed the plot of season 4 more due to its intensity, but that's a discussion for the next video on Arrow season 4. Again, all in all, I will give it an 8 out of 10. If you're barely finishing season 2, watch season 3. It's one of the, and in my personal opinion, it's one of the better seasons. I will say this: I have a little bit of a PSA kind of deal. I will say, as you all know, it's getting closer to Halloween. Now Halloween is a pretty good time of year. It's not my personal favorite, but it's a good time of year, to just dress up, go get candy, go trick or treating, hang out with friends. I will say, everyone, please be careful this Halloween. Just be careful out there. Parents, check your kids' candy. Please double check the candy. For any drugs, any drugs, razor blades, stuff like that, because whether you believe it or not, that stuff does happen. That stuff does happen, and it unfortunately happens. I'm not saying that I enjoy it, but it is a way of, it's a part of life, and it's a part of the world we live in today, and I'm sorry that it's that way. But again, please check the candy. It's better to be safe than sorry. All in all, you guys have a good Halloween. You know, have a good Halloween. Go out trick or treating. I know it's on a Monday, but parents, let your kids have fun. You know, let them go out trick or treating. Let them have just a little bit of fun. But yeah, everybody, just be safe. Be safe around this time of year. Because we might not have one holiday going down, but we have two more coming up: Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I understand that around this time of year, things start getting crazy. So again, just be careful, please. This Halloween, please be careful. I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween and a safe Halloween. Again, that's about it for my PSA. Just be safe out there. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about Arrow or Flash or any other, TV shows that you may like. Leave them down in the comments below. And on my next video, I'll be doing Arrow Season 4 review. So look forward to that one. Alright, that's all the time I have. So I will see you guys next time.